So good morning, St. John's. I'm communicating to you from my office. Yes, my garage and my gym. Yes, it's all here. It's all available. I'm actually very blessed to have a garage. I know. I want to give you something else to think about today. If you feel like you're just done with all of this, you're done. Because I know I feel that way, and I got a beautiful text this morning from Christine King, who's a member of our small group, and she just said how much she misses the hugs and the physical touch, and just experiencing the stress of these times we're in, and especially as so many are rising up to speak out against systemic racism in this world, and these two pandemics of the COVID virus, and then the the hate, that still exists in our world that we know we have to overcome. And as I was thinking about that, I just wanted to share some words of encouragement with you. This last Sunday, a group of young adults organized us into a good sized group, appropriately socially distanced, out on the corner of Military and National. And we had our signs, and we were there to stand against the reality of white privilege and the systemic racism that we know is true, we know is a reality in our own country, and not just here, but around the world. And I'm sure that there were many, I know for myself, that were wondering this last week, are we kind of done with this? Is this it? Even though I hear a lot of folks who know a lot more than I do, who are organizing and seeking to really make long term changes to the way our world operates in regard to racism and all that goes with it. There is that voice that we can hear that just says, it's nothing's going to really change. And the same thing can be true of the pandemic, getting tired of it and feeling like, are we going to ever be over this? And I just want to give you a little bit of encouragement today because last Sunday, as we were standing out on the corner, this beautiful couple, this black couple, saw us standing out there, and they decided to park their car and walk over and just talk with us. And they wanted to know more about our church, and they were sharing their lives with us. It was a beautiful conversation, and they just said to us how much it meant that we were there, how much it meant to them to see us on the corner, and to be standing together with folks, brown and black members of our community, who experience discrimination in our city and around the world. And the conversation led to some beautiful sharing of faith. This Christian couple were sharing how they wanted to come and visit us sometime. He drives trucks, and she is a PhD and a nurse. And boy, what a wonderful couple! It was fascinating to talk with them, and it just made me realize that people are watching, and our witness in this community is so important. And it was an opportunity for us to share our heart with this community. But that wasn't it. That wasn't the only witness. There was a biracial couple that was walking by, and Lisa actually got to talk with them. And the man, who's a man of the darker hue, he just said, until today, I didn't know how people in this community felt about people of color. And I was terrified. I was worried because it just seemed very quiet. Now, obviously, he hadn't seen the small group of people that gathered in Mar Vista Park that I stood with a few weeks ago. But over there on that side of town, obviously very quiet. And that can be good, a quiet community, but he also didn't know how people were feeling. And he just put his hand on his heart and he shared, you know, how loved he felt and how much this meant to him. It was a witness to Christ that we were out there, and I was so blessed and happy and so grateful for our college students who helped to organize this event last Sunday. And just to remind you that our witness in this community matters. And for a lot of people that day, it was the first time they saw people in this community actually stand up for black and brown brothers and sisters. And so I'm so grateful that we were there. And I also want to say, that this pandemic, this COVID-19 thing that we're all so done with, we are so ready to be over it. It's been 4 months now. And even though it's still going on and there's been a surge, we're not where we were 4 months ago. So I want to encourage you, even as we're approaching the 4th of July right now, we all wish we could be out, watching fireworks on the grass and doing those things that we're not going to get to do this year. We're not where we were. The Oxford trial of the vaccine is going really well. We're hot on the trail of this thing, and so we're making a lot of progress in that regard. And as far as the church goes, I'm so grateful that we can gather on Sunday mornings through our virtual worship and our online chat, and that just to remind you all, small groups are given the green light now to meet at St. John's. You can meet under the tree. I met with a group of pastors last week under the St. John's tree, and it was a beautiful gathering, and you can do that too. You can call up Sandy in the church office, and you can reserve a room, and you can meet there with a group of 10 or less, and just know that we are still ministering together. We're still worshiping together. We're still studying God's Word together. We're still making a visible witness to the love and power of Christ. We're focusing on the things He told us to focus on: justice, mercy, and faith, as He said in His own words. And we're still doing the kingdom work that Christ has called us to do. So if you're feeling down today, if you're feeling discouraged, if you're just fed up, remember Jesus' words to us: in this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. We're going to overcome this together in His power. And that's something else to think about today.